Welcome back to the channel. I know I've been kind of MIA for about a month now, but unfortunately my work schedule and the weather haven't really cooperated with me to be able to do anything. We just got done with a tropical storm that came through and flooded all the creeks and rivers and all that, so couldn't get out and do any creek hunts. And of course that also just soaked all the fields to where they're just big muddy messes. Don't even want to go out in there. And besides that, it's been about a month and a half now of really high temperatures, super high heat indexes. For instance, today it's 91 right now, but it feels like 105. So that's not real conducive to for a fat boy to want to go outside. So should be hopefully cooling off pretty soon. But right now I'm gonna head down to our cabin at the lake and just check on things down there, since we just had the big storm come through. Make sure any trees down or anything like that. I don't know if my uncles have checked on it, but I know my dad's been out of town visiting family, visiting my brother and his family out west, and they're out at the Outer Banks. So I know he hadn't had time to go down there and look at it, at least not that I'm aware of. So I figured I had the day off, I'd ride down there this evening, check it out. And sorry if the camera's shaking around a lot. It's mounted on the dash, so. Anyway, so we'll see what there is down here, and just kind of relax for a little bit. I didn't have time to bring my kayak or anything like that with me, but maybe in a few weeks we can come down here and do some kayak fishing or something. But anyway, sorry I've been going for so long. See you when we get there. Yeah, I got a little bit of tree limbs down here. I'm gonna take care of this and then be able to get up there to the cabin, so be right back. Alright, so that stuff was dead, so it was pretty easy to move. Didn't have to cut it up or nothing. Alright. Oh. Yeah. Trim some of that back. Anyway, not a super high dollar, $500,000 home like most of them out here on the lake, but this was one of the first cabins ever built out here, and it was built in, oh, that sounds good, 1946, I believe. I'll have to look at the cornerstone or the step at the boathouse. It has the date on it. 45, 46, something like that. Anyway. Yeah, water's still pretty high. See, when I was a kid, all that was woods over there. Now you got a big house there, big one right there, big one right there. That one's the newest one. One right there. But all we really had was neighbor beside us. All these woods right here were super thick, pretty much like this. And the guy that lives over here on the point, he knew a guy that worked at the Alcoa power plant, because Alcoa owns the lake, or they did. It's not Alcoa now, but anyway, they come out here and cleared all this out because, you know, I guess he thinks he's the only one down here. But I don't mind it so much. I kind of hated it when I first did it, but I don't really mind it so much now because you can walk through here a little easier to get to different fishing spots. And so I mean, it's not as big a deal anymore, but 10 years ago or so, or whenever they first cleared it out, it kind of pissed me and my brother off, but I think we gotten over it. Trash down here. I might can look around a little bit and see if there's any native artifacts washed out. I found a good one right down there off the point, about where that boat is, in about knee-deep water. That was the first one I ever found, actually. It was a Guilford, like a heron feather or something. Yeah, it was a Guilford round base. Anyway, we'll come down here and look around a little better, but it's nice when the water's down because then you can walk all out here. My dad and grandpa and my dad's brothers, they found lots of stuff out here over the years. Most of it's flakes and stuff, but they found some decent points out here. My uncles have, I know. But they actually got buckets. There's like a bucket and maybe a milk jug up here at the cabin. They're just full of flakes and broken points and stuff. One of these days I'm going to look through it and see if there's anything decent in there that maybe they didn't like that I'd like. But I think there's some hammerstones and one big old piece of chert. Well, it's actually rhyolite, but anyway, big old chunk of Mara Mountain rhyolite. So anyway, I'm gonna come up here and check out the cabin, and I got me a hitchhiker. Need to go back down there and trim those, trim the road a little bit, because it's just about too narrow. It's growing up so much. Get the bug spray out. Where to put my bug spray? There we go. This is by far one of the best saws, wood saws I've got. Got that from my grandpa. Need to get me some different blades for it. Alright, that should be all I need right now. Might get my GoPro. Be easier holding this phone. Alright. Alright, well that's a lot better looking than it was. Wasn't too bad except for the thorn vines all twisted around everything right there. But I did find a cool hawk feather. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it didn't take but like, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. I've tried to trim stuff back the last couple years. I've been coming down here a little more regularly, but I haven't been able to get out here much this year. '46 when this place was built. And I think my grandfather, if I remember correctly, bought this from the original guy that built it and owned it. Bought it from him in the 60s, late 60s I think. Alright, I'm gonna get some water and I'm gonna go up there and look in the cabin, make sure everything's good in there. Make sure the windows ain't busted out or anything. We have a problem with people come up here and camp on the beach, and then they look up here and they think it's like some old just abandoned piece of junk, and it's not. It's just a fishing cabin, that's all it is. But anyway, they'll come up here and, you know, kids and whatnot, they'll come around maybe from some of these other homes around here, and they think it's the old haunted cabin, and they'll mess around, throw rocks at the windows and whatever. Usual stupid kid crap. But my dad just replaced all the windows, I think last year, so those are new windows. Get all the spiders and stuff off the door. Doorknob's feeling a little loosey-goosey. Let's see, here's one of these keys. Just changed the locks. Let's see, hang on. So anyway, it's not much. Still got the old General Motors Frigidaire that I'm pretty sure still works. It don't sound like it's running though. Fireplace, fish from 1,000 years ago. But really it's just a, you know, you can spend the night in here if you're brave enough. You have probably have mice running all over you, and who knows, mice bring snakes, so you can get a lot of copperheads around here. Got a couple weak spots in the floor I gotta be careful of. But anyway, that's all there is to it. It's just a nice camping cabin. Really, it's just a place to come down and fish. But my uncles worked in the kayak industry. So these are early wilderness system kayaks. There's a Jackson there. Looks like the mice have been chewing the foam padding up. Those are both really good kayaks. I think that's an old Pungo up there, but I'm not Not 100% sure. I think that's what that was. But anyway, there's some of the flakes and stuff. There's a couple little pieces. Sorry, I didn't realize the light was good enough. I'm gonna cut this flashlight off. That's the middle edge of a blade. That's rhyolite. Found plenty of those down in the fields, haven't we? It's a big piece they were working. There's a couple other little pieces of rhyolite and stuff. There's a nice little flake. Let's see, there was an arrowhead sitting up here on the table at one point. Guess one of my uncles took it home. There's actually a big chunk of rhyolite right there. A big old rock right there. That's a big old chunk of rhyolite. There's another flake. This is all stuff that's washed up that we found over the years. My uncles, my dad, grandpa. And back over there, if I can get back over here without getting spider bit, that whole table is full of pieces, flakes, and there's some hammerstones right there. Those jugs are full. I think this bucket might be full of stuff. Yeah, but that table right there is just full of flakes and broken points. And I'll get in here one day and go through all that stuff. I've been telling myself to do it for a long time. But anyway, if you come in here and sweep all this out and clean it up real good, it's a nice little place to hang out. I really want to open that refrigerator, but I'm scared to. I don't hear it running. This might be a bad idea. Oh, it's froze over. No wonder. Still cold in there. Got some Worcestershire, some hot sauce. That's all you need. Yeah, I think we're going to need to defrost that bad boy. Back when General Motors made some good stuff. Anyhow. Yeah, we camped down here when I was a kid. Me and my brothers and my dad. As you can see, there's no plumbing. It's an outhouse, if you didn't know. But we camped down here one night, and I couldn't sleep. I was scared to death that it was going to be like a black widow or snake climb up in the bed with us. My brothers kind of halfway slept. They slept on the bunk beds. I slept in the big bed with my dad. I was like, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. And there used to be a big, well, it's these big sailboat mast pieces right here. They were running along the side of the wall or something, and you could hear mice running up and down them, just ting, 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 all night long. It freaked me out. I guess I was a spoiled little city boy. But I think that's the rudder to the sailboat right there. Anyway, that's the cabin. Everything looks good. All the windows are good. Alright, we're going to look around here along the bank right quick before we lose light. Like I say, I've only ever found one point down here. And unfortunately, they keep the water level up pretty good year-round now. I don't know who the new company is that runs the dams and everything, but they
they keep it pretty high. Alcoa would let it get low sometimes, and I mean, we've actually come out here and driven all around the lake because it was so low. Like this whole area right here was just a little tiny little stream. So don't get that anymore, so it's kind of hard to come down here and look for stuff. Alright, I don't know what this is. It's gelatinous. It's a big glob of jelly. We don't have jellyfish. This is freshwater. So I don't know what this is. Ugh. What do y'all think? I did not want to touch that. That is super gross. Like a Bigfoot snot ball or something. I don't know, what do y'all think? It's pretty gross. Could be some kind of fungus or something. Ooh, that looks promising. What is that? Nope. Nope, just a regular old rock. I'm up here before I get wet feet. Yeah, all it takes is one little boat to come by and it gets pretty active. Fortunately, there's a lot of trash that washes up on this point right here. This tree just recently fell. See, it was barely even in the ground anymore. It washed out and eroded so much. Excuse me. Let's look down here around the root ball. Yeah, like I say, the chances of us finding anything out here is pretty slim. I'll just let y'all look at the lake. I'll look at the ground. I did hear an osprey up in the trees when I was trimming that driveway. Usually there are about 2 or 3 of them up here in these trees last few years. And I'm pretty sure I saw one sitting beside a bald eagle on a tree up here. That's no crap. It was on the other side of that island right there. That's an island. They were on the other side of it, sitting on a tree. It's an interesting little rock. I don't think it's a tool or anything. Nope. So you can, most of the rocks around here, if you think it's something important, you can just, if it breaks, they're just mud rocks. There's vast majority of these are just soft mud. Of course, something like rhyolite or some kind of chert, it's not going to break that easy. Jasper or something like that. Because you'd be surprised how many rocks out here are very triangle shaped, and some of them even look like they have sharp edges on them. But you pick them up and they just crumble in your hand. Alright, I'm going to cut this back on if I find anything. If not, I will see y'all in the truck probably. Alright, before it gets too dark, I want to show you all this. It's kind of cool. I haven't found any points or anything, but these rocks right here, see if I can get the light on them better. See how they're red and yellow. Well, when we were little, we'd call these Indian paint rocks. That's kind of what we were told they were, but when I was discussing these with a friend of mine who's a lot more knowledgeable about such things, he said that these actually could have been used by the natives and crushed up, mixed with animal fat. And so you can take them and they got red and yellow coloring in them. So of course we'd paint ourselves up when we were kids, you know. And we'd put on war paint or whatever, run around playing army. But so I'm not sure what these are actually called. Like I said, I'm no geologist or anything, but he crushed these up, mix them up with some animal fat and grease, whatever, make some oil paints, basically. So that's pretty cool. That's not really a native artifact, but could be. So but there, it's all over the beach around here. I mean, there's probably can't really see them, but they're all over. There's a lot of small little tiny ones, like that. It looks gray, but it's actually red. If you wet it, you'll be able to see it a lot better, but they're all over this beach. But these are 2 nice big ones I just found, so kind of like these. I might take these with me. But there's a couple more at my feet. They're pretty good size. But wash this off. See, it just comes right off. That water is warm. Man, I should have brought my trunks. Stay out here swimming till it's dark.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Sorry we didn't find anything super awesome, but it was worth it for me just to get down here and hang out at the cabin for a little bit. But it's getting late and I'm getting hungry and I'm hot and tired, so I'm gonna go home. So appreciate y'all watching, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.